If you cheat on your husband-wife, assets should be split 70-30, not 50-50. If someone grows sexual desire for someone outside of their marriage, there is currently no reason not to cheat. Either you end the marriage then and there, or you cheat for months or years, and maybe never get caught. Worst case, it's a 50-50 split, which would be the case anyway. There is no downside to trying to cheat on your partner, no real risk. If you dishonor your agreement with your partner, you should be automatically entitled to less. Otherwise, what is the point of marriage? Marriage is the leading cause of divorce. There's a reason why no-fault divorce is a big deal. Having an element of fault to prove makes the proceedings considerably more acrimonious, and in the end it's usually a difficult and expensive thing to prove. It's cleaner to let the spouses part ways as simply as possible, rather than paying one of them to find another thing to fight over. Yeah, but logistically proving cheating beyond a doubt is hard though. Sounds like it would clog up the courts. I'm curious as to why you think cheating deserves a special rule and not something like violence, financial abuse, and so on. Just sign a prenup outlining your terms LOL. So is emotional cheating still cheating? If I feel like I'm being emotionally cheated on, do I still get 70? Sounds like a stupid loophole. Or let's not make laws that legally tie money to sex. Why should it be the job of the government to enforce romantic and sexual fidelity in our relationships and punish violations? It really shouldn't be something the government could be concerned with, even if I believe cheating in a marriage that is agreed to be monogamous is wrong. As far as the government is concerned, marriage should be a civil union. Any instance of bringing the government back into our bedrooms, after many have fought hard to get them the heck out, is an old-fashioned, problematic slippery slope. Why does there need to be a point to marriage? How about people's personal relationships are not the government's business? The point of marriage might be different for different people, but it's definitely not now I have a way to punish someone if they don't like me anymore. I worked as an chat operator for a while, and the amount of married men who don't get any sex from their wives is crazy. Just saying. Life is complicated and context matters. This post is ARM14 and this is Deep Take. Don't get married. The end. Internet people with their dumb ideas. Correction is usually 33-33-33. The lawyers take a third. People seem to forget this is how lawyers structure their fees. And people wonder why less men are getting married. You shouldn't get shit if you're the cheater. Marriage is about trust and respect, not possession and punishment. What's cheating, though? PIV? Making out? Getting a lap dance from a stripper? Watching porn? Flirting? Talking to or smiling at someone for too long? Was it clearly defined in legal terms prior to the marriage? Problem with these types of fault-based systems is that it takes immense tax-paid court resources to litigate and sort out who did what to whom. Much better to split it 50-50 and move on. Taxes can be spent on much better things than making you feel a just outcome from choosing a bad partner. The whole 50-50 split thing is a misinformed idea anyway. What is aimed for in a divorce is a fair split. Which to many seems like the same thing, but it's not. The court isn't going to actively try to ruin any lives, but will for certain try and find a just and rightful judgment between both parties. That would cause false accusations of cheating. Now, I'm going to unpopular opinion you back and say there are worse things than cheating. This is way too complex and rewards deceptive behavior. It would just encourage lying about having cheated and would 100 create scenarios where a cheater frames their spouse of cheating. In theory, the idea of a cheater gets less sounds nice, but this would create more harm than good. Why 70-30 arbitrarily? What if the partner that was cheated on was a liar? Abuser? Anything other than cheating goes unpunished? cheating is bad and a violation of marriage. But so are a lot of other things. Unless you're going to go down the list of every way you can fuck over your marriage, then no. Just no. Oh, and the way you worded it is just fucking creepy. You sound like one of those unhinged people who get their morality from an ancient book of fantasies. That's dumb. Now you're making sex a commodity. The point of marriage is to give your partner legal benefits over your possessions in case you die, like your wife getting an usufruct on a house you bought even if you gave to your son-daughter in your testament, for example. Plus, cheating is no crime. It might be scummy, but it is completely unreasonable to criminalize it. If someone needs a monetary incentive to not cheat on their wife, just go ahead and get the divorce now and save the other some heartbreak. If you cheap, assets should be 100-0, not 70-30. Idiotic. To be frank, unless you're religious, marriage is just a tax break. You are just as capable of being in a monogamous committed relationship without a priest as you are with one. Marriage is just a tool of God and the government. Why does Reddit hate cheating so much? I'm against it, but tired if the whole all cheaters should die and be tortured mantra. Otherwise, what is the point of marriage? To get the legal benefits of marriage itself. I'm a huge fan of when modern opinions circulate right back around to medieval modes of thinking. Get off your high horse. What about just respecting the person you swore to be faithful to? What about basic morality? If it's an issue for you, bring it up before you get married. Have an open relationship. This is a toxic mindset. Reddit is too black and white on cheating. What if a spouse cheats after 2 decades of dead bedroom, verbal and physical abuse? Should they then also be penalized in the divorce? Seems a bit unfair. Smoking is the leading cause of smoking. How about domestic abuse or financial negligence? Or do we just think cheating is the ultimate moral high ground? If someone grows sexual desire for someone outside of their marriage, there is currently no reason not to cheat. Either you end the marriage then and there, or you cheat for months or years, and maybe never get caught. Or you just don't pursue your desires and get over them. Someone cheats on me, all I can say is the financials will be the least of either of our worries. Somebody got cheated on. Otherwise, what is the point of marriage? Love? You make it sound as if marriage is still a mostly transactional, financial arrangement. We don't live in the 19th century anymore. There shouldn't be a split in the first place. Owning what you own should be the status quo without having to sign a prenup. What about abuse cases then? Same deal? You'd have people laying honeypot baits for spouses they hate to get out of the marriage cheaper. If you cheat, you shouldn't get a fucking thing. If you withhold sex from your husband, wife, or use it as a form of punishment, assets should be split 70-30. Wouldn't work as a firm rule because often there are other factors that lead to the breakdown of a marriage. The other partner may have been abusive or extremely neglectful, and you'd have to take that into account as well. If we want everyone to just leave, then we need some universal income, accessible housing, etc. If somebody had access emotionally and financially to simply leave, but they chose to stay and cheat, yes, it's a dirty move. I don't think that means they didn't build half of the assets during marriage, though. To get to the root of why people cheat, I think you have to break it down into genders. As others have pointed out, it seems like this would add to potential acrimony and increase the time and expense associated with divorce disputes. This would be a disaster if you had kids. I think the increased acrimony could also lead to an uptick in domestic violence. Abusers are the only ones who benefit from people not having access to no-fault divorce. Seems like a great way to drive the marriage and birth rate into the ground even faster, though. So there is that going for it.